proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 39. Mazda, always the soul of a sports car. And UPS, what can Brown do for you?
That's the Capitol building. We're a few miles east of that in Landover, Maryland. It's the home, of course, both the Senate and the House of Representatives. The first Congress to meet at the Capitol, November 17th in 1800.
I was there.
You passed the first bill, didn't you? You pass them to me all the time.
It was 100.
First and 10, Jamal Lewis. Stays on his feet, takes it out to the 35.
But you know what? The Redskins defense, best run defense in the league. That time Jamal got 9 yards. But this defense, look at these guys. Watch them swarm. There's not just one person. There's three there. One comes in. Now watch this. Not one guy. There's at least two on every single tackle that they make.
But I also think if you're the Ravens, your meat and potatoes are made on the legs of Jamal Lewis. If he's gaining no yards, 1 yard, 2 yards, you have to keep handing to him and let him go after Greg Williams' defense.
5 carries, 10 yards for Jamal Lewis. The Redskins defense has not allowed a 100-yard rusher this year. Lewis hitting the backfield. Tremendous penetration. Cornelius Griffin, who they obtained as a free agent from the New York Giants, a guy they knew they had to have because the defensive line a year ago was just awful.
But you know, again, boy, they're just 8 in the box. They're there. And just take a look. You don't have enough people to block enough people. So Cornelius Griffin, number 96, comes down the line of scrimmage, unblocked, and he has to make the play.
Guy has been a major addition to this team. 2nd and 12, and that's against a very good offensive line. Blitz on Bowler. He gets away and dumps it up complete to Randy Himes. And Himes not horse-collared until he crossed the 45 by Sean Taylor. That's another first down.
That's a nice job by Kyle Bowler in the pocket. You've got the free runner coming in. And Jamal Lewis, we talk about his running, but watch this. Nice, he steps to the left. Now he comes around and makes the block. Just enough to give Kyle Bowler an opportunity to be able to make the throw. Lamar Marshall had a shot at him, but a good job by Jamal Lewis.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
But it's coming back, too many men in the huddle. So one of the bigger plays we've had offensively tonight is wasted.
Well, it's sort of.
Well, they got it. It's still first down, but now it's 1st and 15.
And nobody's ever going to confuse this offense with the St. Louis Rams offense when it comes to be able to give up yards and then make it up.
Bowler trying to scramble. And Bowler driven out of bounds by Sean Springs, the former Seattle Seahawk who grew up and played high school ball just down the road.
You know what? When you're looking, you're seeing linebackers make plays, but when you see secondary, these are corners, folks, making plays like this for losses in the backfield. Everybody is tuned in on both sides of these, on both of these defenses. They're all tuned in.
You know, you could almost say it's an analogy in baseball. It's like a no-hitter, but this thing is far from a no-hitter. It's got that kind of intensity.
Redskin fans on their feet. 2nd and 16. Jamal Lewis. Look at that defense swarm. Sean Taylor leads the charge. When Joe Gibbs was hired, he knew he needed a big-time defensive coordinator for this team. Greg Williams had just lost his job in Buffalo, and that's the guy he coveted. Joe, he went and got him in the middle of the night.
The middle of the night, went up to Buffalo. Greg said, I need this, this, and this. Joe said, good, it's a done deal. First thing Joe Gibbs asked him, he said, I want you to draw up the toughest blitzes that I'm going to have to deal with. Coach Gibbs knew exactly what he was dealing with when he came into this game. Knowing they were coming, blocking him's a different story.
3rd and long, blitz coming. Bowler underneath, ball tipped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Fred Smoot. And that's the the mistake that could turn this kind of game around.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to catch the ball. Take a look at it. Boy, you talk about heads up. This is all done by the offensive guy, Wilcox. He tips the ball up in the air. Fred Smoot, that's being alert, gets the interception. Now you're at the 28-yard line. Do you get 7 or 3?
In 4 games, Dan Wilcox has caught in 4 balls. This is how much you miss a Todd Heap at the tight end position. That's what Kyle Bowler is having to deal with.
And that will go down on Kyle Bowler's stat sheet, but none of that was his fault. And now the Redskins with a huge break. They take over at their 28-yard line of the Ravens. Portis, 3 yards. Let's go to Susie.
I talked to Fred Smoot before the game tonight. He was so fired up because he's out here tonight with his idol, Deion Sanders. Wears that number 21. He said tonight, Deion's going to put on a show, and so am I. They still talk all the time. Deion loves to coach, still coaches him up, but of course, wasn't going to give him anything to analyze in a game like this tonight.
Susie, if you put them both in the same color uniforms and the same number, you couldn't tell their walk apart.
And that's, I think, where it ends at this point of his career.
Brunell flanker screen to Coles. Lavernius Coles inside the 20. Nice block by Walter Rasby, the veteran tight end.
People have criticized Joe Gibbs and said you've been away from the game too long. Your offense is antiquated. Clinton Portis, felt like the Browns had an idea where they're going. It's players that make plays. It's the quick screens. It's the blocking up front. Joe Gibbs hasn't been away from this game too long. It's just that his players have been making mistakes. Now you see what they look like when they run efficiently.
No, there's no league, no time that Joe Gibbs can't coach in and win. Portis is the only one back there with Brunell. Takes it off the right side inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Boy, they just loaded up that front wall, and one of the Redskins down and hurt. And that is the big right tackle, Kenyatta Jones.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you get Clinton Portis, look at he's right behind Samuels. He's waiting for his block. Cooley's there, and that's a nice run.
We have an injury timeout. Kenyatta Jones is down. We'll check on him when we come back.
Oh, what a pick by Texas.
Center field, shallow. Beltran! Oh, man! He stole a hit in center field.
There are a lot of different ways to win a ball game.
With 5 total. 5 receivers intercepted by Donnie Abraham. He will go the distance. Donnie Abraham with his 4th career touchdown.
Here we go. This time looking pass, and Bledsoe fumbles the football. Bruschi was in his face, and here goes Richard Seymour off and running. Rodney Harrison in on the escort. And the Patriots right here all but put it away on the run back by Richard Seymour.
We take you to the track for the California Indy 400, where Tony Kanaan and Adrian Fernandez each had reasons to celebrate. Fernandez captured his 3rd win of the year, outdueling Kanaan by .0183 seconds. The 2nd place finish by Tony Kanaan secured his 1st IRL season title. ESPN celebrates Tony Kanaan and Adrian Fernandez, our athletes of the week.
The gridiron battles of the National Football League continue with the final game of Week 5. The Tennessee Titans head to Lambeau Field to battle against the fabled Green Bay Packers in a must-win game between these two proud teams. Titans-Packers, live tomorrow on ESPN.
Nothing ball game, 2nd half. The Redskins now threatening Kenyatta Jones, the right tackle, injured, walked off the field. Ray Brown, the 41-year-old veteran, is in there, and the Redskins again in a tight running formation. Portis hit before he got to the line of scrimmage by Ed Reed.
I'll tell you, Ed Reed is probably one of the better cover men in all of football. But I'll tell you what else he is. He is tough. He's got the Ray Lewis mentality. And he just came down the line of scrimmage, was not going to be blocked, and tackled Clinton Portis for a 2-yard loss.
Well, this is mano a mano right here. They're just lining up saying, here's what we got. Can you stop?
I think this is where the Redskins lack the big back. Clinton Portis doesn't have a whole lot of pop. He's only 210 pounds down here. They need somebody to slam it in if they can.
Well, here's Liddell Betts, 46, following Samuels to the outside, and Liddell Betts only makes the 8. They had to get down near the 6 for a first down.
I just don't care. If you're going to go at this football team with the speed that they have on defense, you do not run wide.
Can't.
That is a bad call.
Plus,
you got to go right at him.
Plus, it's a 3-4 defense, which means you've got linebackers flowing to the ball right away. And every one of these linebackers, whether it's Ed Hartwell, Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, or Adalius Thomas, they all can run like DBs.
John Hall will come on to try a 26-yard field goal. Hall 6 out of 8 this year. And the Redskins put some points on the board and take a 3-0 lead over the Baltimore Ravens.
The gridiron battles of the National Football League continue with the final game of Week 5. The Tennessee Titans head to Lambeau Field to battle against the fabled Green Bay Packers in a must-win game between these two proud teams. Titans-Packers, live tomorrow on ESPN. Your home for the thrills and spills of motorsports all season long is ESPN. Your home for great golf action all month long is ESPN.
We take you to the track for the California Indy 400, where Tony Kanaan and Adrian Fernandez each had reasons to celebrate. Fernandez captured his 3rd win of the year, outdueling Kanaan by .0183 seconds. The second place finish by Tony Kanaan secured his first IRL season title. ESPN celebrates Tony Kanaan and Adrian Fernandez, our athletes of the week.
Ray Lewis and his defense held the Redskins to a field goal after the turnover. The interception by Fred Smoot set that up, and the Redskins have a 3-0 lead. It's been a game of defense and field position.
John Hall is going to be kicking into a pretty stiff breeze.
B.J. Sams is the deep man. He waits to 5. Now the Redskins
onside kick
have
maybe.
a lineup with an onside kick formation, waiting to see how the Ravens might react to it. And Hall will kick it away with a low line drive. Taken by one of the Sams, hustled up to field it, and the Ravens will start at their own 35.
ESPN Sport Legends presents Charles Barkley. For all the attention afforded on Charles Barkley, he has always been one of the most accessible athletes to the public.
Allowing that access, you also get some people whose objective is not friendly.
I probably met, a million people, and 1 million have been great. 5 or 6 have been really bad. I don't mind those little 6 or 7 negative things. Because I meet the most incredible people.
He would frequently call our PR guy and say, I'd like to go to Children's Hospital. But if I see a camera crew, or anybody from the newspapers, I'm not going in.
I think this certain segment of the population could not accept him. What they didn't realize was this pretty good heart that Charles had.
1971, Steve Carbone felt the Big Daddy Don Garlett psych job cost him the 1968 U.S. Nationals finals, and he vowed revenge when the two reached the finals in 1971. Carbone outweighted Garlett in one of the most dramatic burndowns in NHRA history, and the strategy paid off. Carbone raced to the win over the heavily favored Garlett. I'm Kurt Johnson, and it happened at the U.S. Nationals in 1971.
The gridiron battles of the National Football League continue with the final game of Week 5. The Tennessee Titans head to Lambeau Field to battle against the fabled Green Bay Packers in a must-win game between these two proud teams. Titans-Packers, live tomorrow on ESPN.
This week, ESPN's Primetime College Football brings you two battles beginning Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern. Number 16, West Virginia against Big East rival UConn. And on Thursday, number 17, Louisville looks for the upset against the third-ranked Miami Hurricanes. The action starts at 7:30 Eastern. Also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Kyle Bowler back to action. Pump fake under pressure and then hit from behind and taken down by Demetric Evans. Let's go to Susie Colbert. Susie.
Well, a couple of the besties in the NFL by reputation and numbers showing their muscle tonight. No room for Jamal Lewis to run. 7 rushes, just 10 yards against the #1 run D in the NFL. Clinton Portis hasn't been able to get it going on the ground since the first play of Week 1. 10 carries, 26 yards. Biggest play of the night, the tip. And the interception by Fred Smoot, the Deion disciple, putting on a show in front of his idol.
Susie, here's another blitz and another bomb. This one overthrown. Intended for Clarence Moore. They have used him twice as a deep threat. Twice he has been open.
I don't care. They have to keep throwing that, and they're working on Sean Springs. They feel like Clarence Moore can run by Sean Springs, and he has a couple of times tonight. First time he didn't look, Bowler didn't get the ball out. This time Bowler lets it fly. It was a little bit long. I'm guessing the third time he'll fire for effect.
The Redskins a little short in the secondary because Matt Bowen has ligament damage to his knee. Ryan Clark, number 25, has been in his place. 3rd and long, 3-man rush. Bowler can't find anybody. Now throws over the middle, Himes. And Himes turns it upfield and crosses the 50 into Redskin territory. It's a gain of 20 yards.
I'll tell you, and this is Bowler. You got to give credit to the offensive line because they blocked for him. But Bowler finding Himes coming across the field. Watch this. He has no one open. He has no one open, and then he just lets it go down the middle of the field. Just a perfect throw.
Didn't Ray Lewis? Remember what Ray Lewis just said to him when he was wired a minute ago? Time to grow up. That play there shows you how much he's growing up.
One of the few times the Redskins have not blitzed on 3rd and long. They rushed 3 and dropped 8, and it cost them that time. Jamal Lewis runs into a stone wall at about the 42-yard line. Jamal Lewis, one of the great running backs in the NFL, has been unable to run. Clinton Portis, who has 1,500 yards in the first 2 years with Denver, unable to run, and it's all because of defense. These guys are really good.
But it is really simple, and you know, for us to say it, it's simple.
For you to say,
yeah, they put 8 men in the box, and you have one guy too many to block. And what's happening is that they're running that play into that one guy.
That's why you're seeing the opportunities for Kyle Bowler to have guys running open down the field. I think the Redskins, once they get their chance, are going to have to take similar shots.
2nd and 8. Bowler with a quick throw and another pick. This one goes right to Sean Springs. Hit him between the 2 and the 4, and there are flags down everywhere. And look at the face of Brian Bill.
Well, Randy Himes just flat stopped, number 80. Kyle Bowler is trying to throw a quick slant.
After the interception, tripping, passing team, number 80. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So Himes called for a penalty on top of it.
Look at that, number 80. He starts to run a slant. Their receivers are just not getting their heads around. All of a sudden, this game has gotten a lot faster than Clarence Moore and Randy Himes seems to be able to handle. You plant your foot, you whip your head around. You don't turn it gently.
The second turnover, the second interception for the Redskins secondary. And you saw Kyle Bowler come to the sideline saying, tell me what happened.
And the result, and this is the result of the Redskin defense shutting down Brian Billick's offense. If you can't run the ball with Jamal, you're making Kyle Bowler throw it. And it isn't him, it's the guys outside.
Can the Redskins take advantage of their second break? Brunell straight down the middle, and Ray Lewis nearly picked him off.
I'll tell you what, when you look at that secondary, there are 6 purple shirts, and there were 2 guys in pattern. And Ray Lewis should have caught this ball. It hits him right in the hands. Take a look at this throw. Now, look at the people that are back here. 1, 2, 3, and there were 3 on the other side. And Ray Lewis should have caught the ball.
Ray Lewis had 6 interceptions. One more interception, he becomes the all-time leader for the Ravens. You just don't see him put the ball on the ground when he has a chance to catch it.
2nd and 10. Brunell straight back to throw again. Now pressure. Gardner overthrown, covered by McAllister.
I'll tell you what, if you love defense, you got to love this game. Chris McAllister, you know, I think he was just trying to bait a little bit because he's got him covered. Gardner's covered. Take a look at it. Here's McAllister. He's got his hands on him. And McAllister just knows that he can outrun Gardner.
Gardner's been the big play guy, and McAllister has been the big play defender. He just shuts people down. Made the Pro Bowl a year ago. Now 3rd and 10 for the Redskins. Blitz coming. And Brunell sacked back at the 45-yard line. And it's Terrell Suggs, the leading sacker a year ago as a rookie with a dozen. He has had 4 this year. And coming up, Gimpy, is Mark Brunell.
If Suggs doesn't get him, Adelius Thomas gets him 96, 95. They're both there. It's just that Suggs takes away the sack.
Now there's a silver lining in everything. Mark Brunell did an excellent job of protecting the football.
Yeah. What a silver lining.
Well, it is. A fumble there would have been disastrous.
A bad kick.
Again.
That's 3 really poor efforts from Tupa. Gets a great bounce, though, inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Even with a great roll, it's only a 41-yard kick. It's been a treat tonight. Ray Lewis wired for Sunday night.
It's that night to get your swagger back. It's that night to get your swagger back. Let's go. Stay up. Stay up, boy. Woohoo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
That stay up, boy, was he's talking to Clinton Portis.
Talking to Clinton Portis.
Stay up.
No.
I'm going to whack you.
No. Simple answer to that statement, no.
Redskins come on a blitz, and Jamal Lewis runs right through it. Smoot takes him down near the 20-yard line.
I am so impressed with the defensive secondary of the Redskins.
The way they've tackled. But look at what the Raven offense has done. 6 possessions, 79 yards, 4 punts, 2 interceptions. Of course, the last 2 times they had the ball, they have been intercepted. I think right now, if you're the Ravens, you're down 3-0. You make sure you don't make a mistake here. I'd be surprised if they throw the ball in this situation.
That last run was only the 2nd time tonight that Jamal Lewis has gained more than 2 yards.
I'd run it again here.
Well, you know, they're going into 2 minutes, so they're going to get down to a 2-minute warning. The thing about Jamal Lewis is if he can break a tackle, then he could do some damage. But he can't get to the line of scrimmage, and that's what the problem is. There's a guy hitting him in the backfield, which automatically slows him down and takes him out of his stride. And once that happens, they just gang up on him. I don't care how big and how fast you are. You get hit in the backfield, you're not going anywhere.
Jamal Lewis has 19 yards rushing tonight on 10 carries. It has been a battle of will and defenses. 2 minutes to go, first half, 3-0.
Each week, ESPN has your ticket for the best in sports. Mondays, fulfill your need for speed as we bring you the best in 2-wheel, open wheel, and and off-road racing. Thursdays are action sports days with the wildest moments of X Games and beyond. And remember, ESPN is always your home for the great outdoors with hunting, lumberjacking, and some of the biggest fish you've ever seen. The best in sports each week, only on ESPN.
Oh, what a pick by Texas.
Center field, shallow. Beltran! Oh, man! He stole a hit in center field.
There are a lot of different ways to win a ball game.
With 5 total. 5 receivers intercepted by Donnie Abraham. He will go the distance. Donnie Abraham with his 4th career touchdown.
Here we go. This time looking pass. And Bledsoe fumbles the football. Bruschi was in his face. And here goes Richard Seymour off and running. Rodney Harrison in on the escort. And the Patriots right here all but put it away on the run back by Richard Seymour.
Coming up at the half, we'll join Chris Berman for the Toyota halftime show. Chris will have football's fastest 3 minutes. The Patriots record-setting win. Congratulations, New England. 19 straight. Boomers halftime heroes and updates on the National League Division Series as yet undecided. All coming up on the Toyota halftime show.
New England gets Seattle next week, who, in my opinion, got upset by St. Louis today.
Chester Taylor is in. And the pass complete to Clarence Moore.
First down.
Sean Taylor, rookie against rookie, took him out of bounds.
We haven't really touched on it, but one of the reasons that these two offenses are not that effective, they really don't have a tight end to go to. The Todd Heap out for the Baltimore Ravens, he is huge in their offense. And the Redskins really don't have anybody to throw the ball to either.
He's been out for 2.5 weeks, and he's still the 2nd leading receiver on the team with 12 catches.
Bowler throws this one right into the ground, and it's probably good news for Alan Ricard. If he makes that catch, 3 Redskins are waiting for him.
Well, that time he got his feet all tangled up. He started out looking to the left, and then when he planted, he looked back to the right. He just never really got into balance. Kyle Bowler has played all year the way Brian Billick has wanted him to play. He has protected the football up until some miscues tonight, one of which wasn't his fault.
2nd and 10, 1:51 to go in the half. Here comes the blitz on Bowler. He throws the other way, complete up to near the 30-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5 as Moore makes another catch.
Isn't it interesting that they tried 2 long passes to Clarence Moore, but everything else after that has been a 3-yard route to a 7-yard route, and that's all you can basically throw.
Well, he didn't get his head around on the first one. He better get his head around on these short ones, or they're going to be bonking off his noggin.
3rd and 5. Another quick throw and intercepted. Picked off by Todd Franz. The 3rd pick. A return of 33. Now, will it be challenged by the replay booth upstairs?
Yeah, because you got to understand something. You're in at 2 minutes and a half, and at the end of the game, you can't challenge it. Now, does this ball hit the ground? The officials, they have to challenge them upstairs. There's no challenge. This is a great interception.
What heads-up ball.
Look at him. Watch Todd Franz get his hands underneath the ball. Look at it. Watch his both hands are underneath the ball. So the ball never touches the ground. He gets it back up in his chest. Here it comes down. Look at his hands. And how nice this is.
And Ryan Clark caused Kevin Johnson to tip it and then make the play.
Down by contact. First down.
That is the first interception in the 3-year career of Todd Franz, and the 3rd consecutive possession that the Ravens have been picked.
And they've been unusual picks. Bouncing balls, tip balls.
Well, you have to hand it to the Redskins defense, though. They have been brilliant. So the Ravens, and Portis is stacked up, maybe gained a yard. Anthony Weaver, the first one there.
Kyle Bowler's got to feel like this stadium's closing in on him. He's making throws. The balls are tipped. He just has to gather himself. It's still just a 3-0 football game, and if the defense can do their job, it'll only be 6.
Second and goal for the Redskins. Brunell, touchdown. The tight end, Chris Cooley.
I'll tell you what, this was a great throw. This was a great throw. And he hummed this baby.
He's still got some arm strength and certainly still has some mobility.
Look at, he's throwing this thing back across his body.
Nice job by Chris Cooley, also working himself back towards Brunell, so Ed Reed couldn't cut up and cut underneath it.
And Paul, you're right, because Corey Fuller was right there. If that pass isn't behind him, it might be picked, and he gets it in there for the touchdown. So the Redskins turn 3 turnovers into 10 points with only 26 seconds to go in the half.
I'll tell you what, take a knee, get out of here, and then regroup.
It's not like the Ravens have not had a couple of opportunities. Clarence Moore has been behind Sean Springs twice. I think the Ravens, they go in the locker room, what Brian Billick wants to say is, look, we've missed some opportunities, and we've given them a lot of big ones. We can settle down. For Joe Gibbs and his Redskins, it's like, guys, now we have to go out and be smart on offense and let our defense keep taking it to them.
Yeah, one other thing is going on. I put at halftime, I'm going to say to my defense, don't cover the tight end. Forget about him. They're not even looking at him. They're not throwing to either one of them. They just go play the other people.
And Redskin defense came in number 4 in the NFL, number 1 against the run. They have played the run exceptionally well, but against the pass, they have 3 interceptions.
They're going to go out of here number 1 against the run.
They may go out number 1 against everything.
It's amazing, though. You know, when we talked to the players the other day, we came in here on Friday to talk to them. I mean, everybody said this defense has really kept us together, and they have, you know, we've got to start helping them. And on that last drive, at least the offense helped. But you've got interceptions that have been down inside the Ravens' territory.
And the defense is starting to get turnovers for their offense.
Sams. And he is gang tackled near the 30. The Redskins defense has provided the opportunity to score points. Kyle Bowler picked off 3 straight times. That one right into the arms of Fred Smoot. Set up a field goal, and Washington took a 3-0 lead. And then Todd Franz gets the first interception of his career. And Mark Brunell made it pay off with a touchdown pass to Cooley.
And on that second one, Ryan Clark, who's filling in for Matt Bowen, did a terrific job of getting around Kevin Johnson's feet and forcing him to tip it.
And the Ravens say, we've had it for the first half. Let's go to the locker room and have a meeting. Jamal Lewis stuffed by that Redskin defense. Kyle Bowler intercepted 3 straight possessions. Let's go to Susan.
Brian, 3 straight series with an interception. What is Kyle not seeing?
Obviously, our guys versus their guys. It's as old as the game. You can't turn the ball over. Neither offenses are doing much, and you turn the ball over and get you 10 points behind.
How can you make him more comfortable in the second half?
Well, he's just got to start seeing things and relax a little bit. Protection's holding up pretty good. He's just got to see what's in front of him better.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Susie, our score here at FedEx Field in Washington. The Redskins 10-0 over the Ravens. Now let's join Chris Berman for the Toyota halftime show.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. And again, welcome back. Good to take a throw from you, as we've been doing for all these years of Sunday Night Football. Well, you can just feel the history in the air. This weekend in 1492, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, a guy named Christopher Columbus discovered America. 1776, and in and around that time, there's a band of New England Patriots that did a pretty good job of making some history. Now it's 2004. Another group of Patriots decided it was their turn to enter the history books. Tom Brady, touchdown to David Gibbons. The good teams always score toward the end of the half. This is Wes Welker. More on that in a moment. The regular kicker for Miami, Olindo Mare, got hurt. So Welker, the backup receiver, did some field goal kicking. But the Patriots win 19 in a row for Bill Belichick and company. More on that in a moment. Drew Bledsoe trying to get Buffalo in the win column for the first time this year to Lee Evans. The Bills lead the Jets 14-13. But when Doug Bryan kicks a 38-yard field goal, the Jets Jets are 4-0, 16-14. They win. The Seattle Seahawks had a huge lead, 27-10, with 8.5 minutes to go over the Rams. But Jeff Wilkins' field goal, 36 yards, ties it for Mike Martz, and he does more dancing in overtime. Mark Bolger, right up the field. Sean McDonald, E-I-E-I-O. The Rams win 33-27 in overtime, shocking the unbeaten Seahawks. Joey Harrington to Azakim and the Detroit Lions, who had lost 24 straight on the road. Now we're thinking about winning 2 straight. They tied Atlanta at 7. Unbeaten Atlanta. Mike Vick sacked 6 times by the Lions, who win 17-10. Raiders, Colts, Peyton Manning. 3 touchdown passes to Reggie Wayne. The Colts win easily, 35-14. They're 4-1. The Giants have won 4 in a row. Kurt Warner to Jeremy Shockey. They lead at Dallas 13-10. Tiki Barber, 198 yards running and receiving. This a 55-yard play. G-Man beat Dallas 26-10. At Heinz Field, Ben Roethlisberger now 3 for 3, this rookie for starts. 37-yard touchdown to Plexico Burress. Steelers over the Browns, 34-23. Pittsburgh, 4-1. Dante Culpepper, 50 yards to Randy Moss. And the Vikings lead Houston 28-14 in a superior game. David Carr, Andre Johnson. We're tied at 28. We go to overtime, where Culpepper throws his 5th touchdown pass to Marcus Robinson. 34-28, the Vikes win in overtime. Jake Plummer keeping both teams in the game, but most notably his team, Ashley LeLay. Touchdown. The Broncos beat Carolina 20-17. Tim Rattay, more completions, that's right, than any other 49er quarterback in one game. That's the Brandon Lloyd, what a catch. Tied at 28. Overtime, Todd Peterson field goal wins it. The Niners, it's over. They've won 31-28. The best uniforms ever in sports. The San Diego Chargers, lightning bolts. That's John Hadle to Lance Allworth. No, Drew Brees to Antonio Gates. The Chargers beat the Jags 34-21. The lightning bolts 3-2. Sims at quarterback for Tampa Bay. That's Chris Sims. He's hurt. They bring in Greasy. That's Brian Greasy to Ken Dilger. If the Bucks lost and gone 0-5, I was going to demand they wear the orange jerseys. But John Gruden, they're off the schneid. They beat the Saints 20-17.
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Get the feeling.
When we return, our halftime heroes, you know a lot of them are in New England. And we update you on baseball. John Smoltz and the Braves. To Houston, not so fast.
1-1 delivery on the way. Slow chopper. Beckett may make the final play. Tags him out. The Marlins win. The Florida Marlins. The fish who swam upstream are the world champions.
Simply the finest football on the planet. ESPN continues full-day coverage of the UEFA Champions League all the way through the championship game in May. ESPN, the home of the UEFA Champions League.
Thursday, an NBA summit in China. Houston center Yao Ming leads the Rockets in to battle the Kings on his home turf. Rockets Kings, live on ESPN Thursday.
A World Cup qualifying review and a Matchday 3 Champions League preview on the next edition of ESPN's SoccerNet Press Pass. That's on Friday, right here on ESPN.
This week on ESPN, our coverage of World Cup qualifying continues Wednesday. 2 live matches from Europe. On Thursday, relive the insanity from Los Angeles with a replay of X Games 10. And Friday, place your bets at the 2004 World Series of Poker. Then later, ranked boxers face off on Friday Night Fights. Sports all day, every day on ESPN this week.
Welcome back to the Kia Halftime Show with your host, Chris Berman.
Halftime of the Battle of the Beltway, 10-0 Skins over the Ravens. Well, certainly heroes abound in New England, but it's also fun to see young guns going back and forth in a well-played game with a lot of offense. We got a lot of things to tell you about in our Halftime Heroes. And this was a shootout at the OK Corral, basically in Houston. David Carr and the Never Say Die Houston Texans. It was a day of great games. That Seattle loss to the Rams was unbelievable. Comeback by St. Louis. But this is Andre Johnson, who every week makes 1 or 2 acrobatic grabs, and they put the game into overtime. But Dante Culpepper, this game had 920 yards of total offense. Culpepper with 5 touchdown passes, 396. He guns it to Marcus Robertson, and the Vikings win. Wes Welker, rookie, free agent from Texas Tech. Backup receiver, special teams player. Mare hurt. He has to kick field goals. He kicked an extra point. He returned 5 kicks. He returned 5 punts. Wes Welker, the last guy to do such a thing in the NFL, 1967 from Miami. But he was watching history as Tom Brady did Daniel Graham for the 5th straight game. And the defense, even with rookie free agents like Randall Gay coming in to save the day for New England. Richard Seymour with the sack. And Bill Belichick and company have done something that no one has ever done. Congratulations to the Patriots. 19 straight wins and counting. 9 of those wins by 7 points or less. So what does that mean? Mental toughness. They never break down. They always are ready to make the big play and pounce on an opponent's mistake. 19 and counting. They go for 20 next Sunday at home against Seattle. Sunday studs, you can still vote. Tiki Barber with almost 200 yards from scrimmage, certainly, and Dante Culpepper with the 5 touchdown passes, but there are some others. I mean, you wear the powder blues, you got to continue someone. Antonio Gates, who was a college hoopster at Kent State, now a pro football player extraordinaire for the Lightning Bolts. 10-0, the Skins lead the Ravens at the half. More here in a moment. We'll update you on the baseball.
No equipment needed. Only your hands and your heart. And according to the outcome, you will live 3 minutes of hell or 3 minutes of glory. Friday Night Fights on ESPN.
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Get the feeling.
National League Division Series still up for grabs. The Houston Astros had never won a postseason series. Would this be the day? They had a chance at home to beat out the Atlanta Braves. They had the Rocket Man, Roger Clemens, pitching on 3 days rest. He went the first 5. In trouble early, Andrew Jones, the base hit, scores Chipper Jones, and the Braves led it 2-0, but down 2-1. Craig Biggio. Great to see Biggio and Bagwell have big postseason series for the Astros. They lead 5-2 until Chad Qualls on in relief. Serves this one up to Adam LaRoche. Back, gone. Tied at 5. We stay that way to the top of the 9th with J.D. Drew hitting for Atlanta, 2 out. Base hit. Center field. Rafael Furcal, the hero in Game 2, scores. 6-5 Braves. Bottom of the 9th, John Smoltz induces Jeff Kent to hit it into the game-ending double play. Smoltz has now won 14 games in the postseason, the most of anyone in the history of baseball, and the Braves have forced a Game 5 in Atlanta, where it'll be Roy Oswalt, 20-game winner for Houston, going up against Jarrett Wright for Atlanta. Meanwhile, Albert Pujols is at a 3-run homer for the Cardinals in L.A. in the 4th inning. That game is now in the bottom of the 5th. The Cardinals leading the Dodgers with a chance to close them out. 5-2, but the Dodgers have come from behind before and want to force a 5th game. Mark Brunell, touchdown pass, has put the Skins up 10-0. 3rd quarter coming up.
No equipment needed. Only your hands and your heart. And according to the outcome, you will live 3 minutes of hell or 3 minutes of glory. Friday Night Fights on ESPN.
Catch all the exciting, hard-hitting action of NFL American football all season long on ESPN. Your home for the thrills and spills of motorsports all season long is ESPN. ESPN continues its commitment to bring you the best football in the world with live coverage of World Cup qualifying matches as the road to Germany 2006 continues. This is where the dream begins. National pride, commitment to excellence, and a place in history are the ingredients that make up the world's greatest football spectacle. 2 games this Wednesday. Holland battles Finland. Then Portugal faces Russia. World Cup qualifying on ESPN.
No sweet dreams tonight for Kyle Bowler. It has been tough throwing the football. Sean Springs with a pick. Fred Smoot with 1. Todd Franz with 1. 3 in all, and they came on consecutive possessions for the Raven quarterback, and that set up all of the Redskins 10 points, and they lead here at half on Sunday Night Football 10-0 Redskins over the Ravens. And Bowler will certainly need more good fortune than that in the second half to get his team back in this game.
He's going to have to wait because the Redskins are going to get it first.
Morton has it slip through his hands and out of bounds, so they'll start from the 20. All right, 10-0 at the half. So if you're the Baltimore Ravens, what do you talk about in the locker room? What do you come out and try to establish in the second half?
Defensively, you don't say anything. Keep doing your job. And to Kyle Bowler, don't worry about the first half. It's over. You've got to have the memory of a cornerback. If you get beat, forget it. If you throw interceptions, forget it. Not all of them have been his fault. So you just concentrate on what you... It's only a 10-point game. You've had opportunities. Focus on it.
Well, if you're the Redskins, what do you do?
Well, I'll tell you what, I still throw the ball. You're not going to run it. Both these teams are playing, as we talked about before, and we'll show you 8 in the box. And when they're doing that, they force you to throw the ball. Go ahead and do it.
Portis gets a yard. Stopped by the center of the line. Then Ed Reed comes in from the corner and tries